So, huh? They don't let me play tonight, huh? They say, Bubba, you old, huh? You need break. I don't need a break. Look, same cigar, 45 years now, huh? Same cigar, huh? Come on, Daniel, don't screw up, huh? Okay, because if you, everybody else, they come for a year and then they leave, huh? Everybody leaves. They all leave.
We're hanging in overtime! We're hanging in overtime! We're hanging in overtime!
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1,
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Alright, Panther fans, so we got the Flyers tonight, and yet again I have forgotten my ring for the beginning of the video, but that's been working so far. So tonight, Bubba, you get the night off, huh? Okay, old man? No, you're young. You're young and spry. Don't worry about it. I'm glad he's getting the night off. I was hoping to see Tarasov a little bit earlier because we do have the back-to-back on Wednesday and Thursday, so the assumption would be we're going to see Tarasov 2 of the next 3, which is good. We need to see what we got. We need to see how that's going to go. Rest of the lineup is the same as usual. Kulikov is going to seek a second opinion on whether or not he needs surgery, and that's going to go to the IR and all that. But we're good. Walenskas actually played a really good game the other night. He looked active. He looked excited to have the opportunity, and that's good to see. Meanwhile, Philadelphia can't exactly be thrilled about how their season has started. They're looking to not be doormats. They've got a good team. They're young. They want to get feisty and physical. Nobody's really gotten that physical with us. There was, we've had the one fight, a couple of hits, but nothing like what we thought was going to happen, especially against Ottawa. So first road trip of the season, first road game of the season. I think it's a 4 or 5 game trip. I think it might be 4. Saturday's game is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. For those of you who don't look at the schedule every day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So make your plans accordingly. All right, we're 3-0. That's good to see, but if we're going to keep pace with the Bruins, we got to continue. Did they win today? I saw the score, but I didn't see the final score. Tampa and Boston were playing, so I'll have to go check that out. Either way, just keep banking points. Let's get to. All right, so, come on. There we go. I clapped like the Panthers just played that first period. It's 1-0 Philadelphia, and I'm happy that we got out of that in 1-0. Boy, that period, something stunk out there on the ice. I don't know what happened to these guys. They must have had a late nap, too much cheesesteak. I don't know, maybe they were at the titty bar last night, but they looked bad in that first period. We're kind of lucky. Tarasov played a really exceptional first period there. It's only 1-0. I'm sure they'll wake up. But Philadelphia, what did I say before the game? Nobody so far has really been trying to get physical and everything with us. Philadelphia is trying to start a physical game, and we're just not responding. We're just ignoring them. Each team had a power play. They've had some good chances. We had a really good chance with Sam Miskevich and Verhaeghe coming down, a 2-on-1. Beautiful pass from Sam Miskevich to Verhaeghe. Vladar just robs Verhaeghe, and so we don't have anything on the board, but there's no forecheck, and Philadelphia is just quicker to every single puck. So I expect us to come out and play better in the second period. Let's move on. Okay, so, oh boy, good hockey game, 2-1 Flyers after 2. Flyers get the 2-0 lead on just, at that point, up to that point, even though the Panthers have played better in the second period, we're just not skating. The Flyers are beating us to every puck, and we just don't have our gas tanks on at all tonight. And then Seth Jones sends the puck over the glass with like 2 minutes left. We're thinking, oh God, we got another penalty to kill after they had gotten Boquist on a skinny hold. And Reinhart comes down. And it was Reinhart with Forsling, and Forsling goes to the net. Long story short, there's a rebound from Vladar. Reinhart misses a wide open net, recollects the puck from behind the net, does the wraparound before Vladar can get completely set back up, and it's 2-1, and we got a shorty, and we got a hockey game now. So I don't know if that's going to wake the Panthers up or not, but we'll see. I'm a little bit surprised, a lot surprised, actually. I knew that there would be nights like this. You're not going to go 82-0. I'm surprised that they look as disinterested as they do first road game of the year. I kind of thought maybe first road game of the year, first trip of the year, especially without Barkov and Kachuk, I would have thought maybe there would have been an extra concerted effort in this game to make sure that we look like we should. But give the Flyers some credit. They are taking advantage of the fact that we're not at 100% in terms of effort, and they are just on every single puck. And you can literally almost read the body language of some of the Panther players when the Flyers are beating them to the puck. Our guys are just kind of like, whatever, just take it, man. You know what I mean? Like, we definitely look like we'd rather be at the track or something. So we haven't had an overtime game yet. I wouldn't mind it tonight. Let's make it. I don't want to pray. Bob's not playing. That's all I'm going to say about the goaltending right now. Cannot praise the goaltender in the middle of the game. That's it. Cancel the parade. Season's over. What was that at the end of the game? So first off, give Flyers credit. They weathered the storm. We did manage to tie the game. And then Philadelphia gets, I think it was like 4.5 minutes left, a little bit over 4 minutes left. They just never gave up, and we just did not have any of our normal complement of defense, forechecking, physicality. We just didn't have it at all tonight. We did work hard to get the game tied. Philadelphia gets it back, so it's 3-2. And I've never seen, now, I'm not a fan of emptying the net. Like, for me, I'm like, okay, I guess if we have to do it with 1 minute left, you do it. For whatever reason, it was 3:04 left, and we end up with, we did have an offensive zone draw, but we had been carrying the play for a while at that point, having plenty of chances, but Maurice decides to empty the net with like 3:04 left. I don't need to tell you what happened, right? So that basically blows any chance you have at a comeback. And then, with like 2 minutes left, we didn't even have possession of the puck, and they took Tarasov out again. And so, of course, it ends up being 5-2. It looks like we got waxed. And I don't understand why he emptied the net so early. We've got a championship team on the ice. You do that when your team sucks. That's the kind of move like you expect the Buffalo Sabres to do when you're like desperate for points or whatever. So I would love to be a fly on the wall if they would ever ask him that question. They probably won't. But it's nitpicking because I don't like losing. But I've never seen us do that. That to me seems like a desperation move. And I just would have liked to have seen our guys without Barkov and Kachuk have an opportunity to have a genuine comeback there at the end, but not to be. So Philadelphia played well. Vladar made some good saves. We did dominate. And the other thing I'm going to complain about, because I don't get much to complain about here. But you know, guys, know I love Randy, I love Goldie, but every stinking time, and I mean every time, they start with the graphic of, oh look, the Panthers haven't allowed a shot in the last 15 minutes. Every time it happens, 2 minutes later, I'm lifting because we've given up a goal. Stop doing it. It's so brutal. I don't like losing. I don't like losing. So, what do we see out there on the ice? So he did some twinkling, some tweaking with the lines. He had ended up putting, geez, it's been so confusing at this point because there's been so many lines. But we put Verhaeghe with Bennett and Lundell. No, Verhaeghe with Reinhardt. Verhaeghe with Reinhardt and Lundell. That line looked pretty good. Reinhardt got shorthanded goal. Bennett got his first goal of the season. And then at some point, I seen him move Samoskevich back up towards the end of the game when we were, with the empty net. Defensively, we did not have it. Now, no one player looked extremely... The whole team. There wasn't one player that looked bad. It's just everybody just looked disinterested and slow and like they were skating in mud and just disinterested. And I said it a couple of games ago. I think it might have been after the first game. I said there's going to be nights when if a team like the Flyers wants to really use their energy and come at us, there are going to be nights like tonight where collectively as a team, the Panthers are just like, whatever, and that was literally the body language out there for most of the game tonight, was we were just like, whatever, which is kind of what Maurice did with emptying the net. I don't understand that what we did there. Now, Tarasov played well. I've seen a couple people in the chat towards the end of the game going, oh, maybe we should have played Bob. Tarasov is the only reason the game was 3-2 when it was 3-2, because it easily could have been 4 or 5-2. He played really, really well, especially early on. Philadelphia was all over us, and we did not care to put up a challenge. So that was fine. Forsling did not have his best tonight. He was getting outraced. Nobody had the legs. We just didn't have our legs. We just didn't have it. I am a little bit concerned. I'm a little bit disappointed / concerned that this is how we showed up first road game of the year. Like I said, I would have thought that we would have made an extra effort to make sure, hey, look, no Barkov, no Kachuk, new goalie, right? Let's make sure we play our game. We did not. We did not. Philadelphia challenged us to some physicality in the first period, and I don't want to fight, man. Just go ahead. Just take the puck. Take the puck. Oh, look, Daniel made a save. I mean, that's basically what we did for the first half of the game. So, all right, short and sweet. I don't want to overdo it and bitch and complain, but at the same point, you don't like to lose. Was there anybody that played really well tonight? I mean, you guys know I'm going to praise Sam Miskevich. He was up and down tonight. He did use his speed to create some positive situations. He also had a few passes that kept getting picked off. But a few people had some passes that got picked off. Marchand was still doing his thing out there. Bennett, Reinhardt, I thought played pretty well. Boquist, I know he had a goal the other game. Luosterainen. Now, Luosterainen is a very good forward defensively, third line, beautiful, love it. But I don't know about putting the puck in the back of the net in the top 6. Now, when it was Lundell with Marchand and Luosterainen in the playoffs and we're playing third line minutes, it looked like he was going to be able to step up his offensive game. I'm not so sure right now how that's going to work out. So you may see a situation where you end up with Rodriguez and Luosterainen, and maybe Boquist is going to get a chance up in the top 6. Because if you're going to be in the top 6, you've got to be able to put the puck in the back of the net a little bit. And Luosterainen just looks so uncomfortable playing the offensive game. He's so good on defense and he's so good at everything else that I'm not trying to be critical of the guy. But if you're nitpicking goals, we're going to need them. You know what I mean? We're going to need a little bit more depth scoring. The fourth line was. Did they play? I'm looking for the fourth line. I don't see them back in here tonight. I don't think we called their name at all tonight. I think there was a couple times we might have said Cunning's name. I don't remember saying Greer or Gadjovich's name at all tonight. So that pretty much tells you we didn't have our juice. We didn't have any juice tonight, and it showed. And the score is kind of what we deserved, even though the 2 were empty nets. Realistically, if Tarasov wouldn't have been so good early, it was a 5-2 game. So, all right. I'll be live tomorrow. What's today? Monday? No hockey tomorrow. We got hockey Wednesday, hockey Thursday, so 2 days in a row. We're going to have to play better than this. That's for damn sure. I'll be live tomorrow at noon for your viewing pleasure. I'll have some other content out as we go. Thank you for all coming out to the streams. I'm starting to make a little bit of changes to the memberships in terms of the emojis, because we're adding in the Leia emojis now that Fluffy has passed. I didn't make any changes last year to the levels, but now obviously it's been a year, it's time, so I'm starting to rename some things and put some Leia emojis there. The Fluffy emojis are still there, and a couple other perks or benefits. I made a post about it. I don't want to belabor that point here, but thank you all for joining the memberships, and we have a half-hour member-only stream before each Panther game. All right, that's going to do it for tonight. No points. I was ready for overtime, man. We were this close to saying we are going to overtime. Let's blame Paul for this one. Why don't we blame Maurice for this one? He doesn't get a lot of flack around here. We'll blame Maurice for pulling the goalie too soon. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.